Thank you so much for joining in for this workshop on selling in multiple currencies with AccessAlly. We are so excited to have you here. If you're watching live, thank you so much for joining this live workshop. And if you are catching the replay, thank you so much in advance for watching the replay. Below this video, you'll find links to the resources mentioned throughout this workshop. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Here's what we'll cover in this workshop. Tour. We're going to take a tour of the client experience, checking out on a multiple currency toggle order form in AccessAlly. Next, we'll explore. This is going to be a few questions to ask yourself to know for sure if selling in multiple currencies is right for your business right now. Next, we'll start adding currencies. You'll see how to enable multiple currencies on your AccessAlly site. We'll cover order form design. This is the part where we'll create new order forms for your currencies and also order forms for those currencies inside your offerings. And then finally, we'll wrap up with toggles versus geolocation. This is designed to help you know how to get your customers to the right order forms for their currency. Now it's time to take a tour. To set the stage for our tour, we're going to imagine that your potential client has already seen a sales page covering what's in your offering, and they've clicked the buy button. So now they're going to choose what currency they would like to check out in, and they can toggle between the different options. USD is the default for the site, and pound, euro, and Canadian dollar are also displayed here for currency checkout options as well. I'm going to complete today's transaction using pound sterling, and with this option, I'm going to go ahead and start filling out the order form. Now I'm going to enter my billing information. Now it's time to enter my credit card information. And there's also a special section on this order form for a VAT tax ID number. And I'll agree to the terms and conditions and go ahead and complete the process. Now that the purchase has been successful, yay, I can go ahead and start the workshop. So that's our overview tour of the customer experience as they're purchasing on an order form with a toggle with multiple currencies as their checkout options. Now it's time to explore 3 questions that will help you determine if selling in multiple currencies is right for your business right now. These are just designed to help you know a little bit more about the process because this is a complex setup. So selling in a single currency is pretty quick and easy, but each new currency adds a new layer of complexity. So let's dive into these questions. The first question is, have you received multiple inbox support requests related to selling in a specific currency? So as you get requests to sell in euros or pound sterling, for example, note the request, the currency type, and the email address of the customer sending it in. This way you'll know which currencies are the best ones to start off with if you do decide to use multiple currencies. The next question is, are you losing revenue by not offering that currency? So when someone emails in and asks for euros or Canadian dollars, do they still pay you in your default currency, or do they choose not to do business with your company? This could be a great indicator that it's time to move into multiple currencies. And then the third and final question you want to ask yourself is, does a customer inside that currency typically pay with a credit card so that you can use Stripe to integrate your payments? A feature request that we have here right now is to integrate with Ideal, which takes payments primarily in the Netherlands, and this option is for bank or wire transfers. So even if you wanted to support taking payments in the Netherlands right now, would your customers pay you through Stripe for that transaction, or would they prefer to pay you through a bank or wire transfer? And if that's the case and you're in the Netherlands and you would love to see Ideal integrated with AccessAlly, please reach out to us. Just contact us so we can +1 you for our feature request for that integration. But it is important to know if the customer paying in that currency typically pays through Stripe for a credit card payment, or if they want to use a bank or a wire transfer. That can make a big difference on if you add that to your site or not just yet. Now it's time to start adding currencies. On your AccessAlly site, you're going to go ahead and go to your dashboard. Scroll down till you get to the AccessAlly tab and click on Settings. Once you're in Settings, you want to click on the Payment Settings tab and make sure you're in the General tab from there. You'll see your default payment currency that your site is set up to accept, and if you scroll to the bottom, you can start adding in new currencies. Click Add Secondary Currency to add a new currency. When you're adding in your secondary currencies, it's a great recommendation to use 2 decimal places if you'll be collecting taxes, because sometimes those are collected in percentages like 7.25, and you want to make sure the order form displays the correct amount. You can also select if you want to use a comma or a decimal point, and you can also choose your currency symbol and select whether that is displayed before or after the price. Once you've added in all of your desired currencies, go ahead and click Save to save your changes. Now it's time to cover order form design when selling in multiple currencies. Let's go to Dashboard. And once you're inside the dashboard, you're going to go to AccessAlly Sales. Once you're inside the Sales tab, you're going to scroll to the Design Setup section, and you'll use the option to create a new design. Once you create a new design for your order form, you can name it something that is memorable for you, and you'll select your default billing country. Under order form templates, it's recommended to use one of the flex options, especially if you need to add any custom fields to your order form, for example, to store a VAT tax ID number. Once you add the order form template design, you'll be presented with the drag and drop builder to make your customizations. I added the VAT tax ID number to the billing information section. I just clicked plus add and used the user input option and then followed the steps to add in that additional field for storage on the order form. Once you've created the changes and added anything to this order form that you would like, just go ahead and hit save to save your changes. Now that you've created your order form design, you'll apply it to the order forms inside your offering. Now it's time to cover how we add the order form design to our offering order forms. So we're going to go back into our AccessAlly site and we'll go to our dashboard and we're going to go to the offering that we want to sell in multiple currencies. So I will go to AccessAlly and choose offerings. From here, I'm going to go to my workshop offering. This is where I'm going to add these 4 different order forms for my currencies. Click on the Forms tab from here and make a new order form for each currency you want to sell in. So right now I am doing a one-time payment of $100 US. So I'm going to make a new order form for US dollars, a new one for pound sterling, a new one for Canadian dollars, and a new one for euros. So when you need to make a new order form, you just click plus add at the top and select the type of order form it is. And I chose one-time purchase for these. Once you have created each order form, go ahead and click Save. This allows each order form to have its own unique link inside your AccessAlly site. So if I click on the USD order form, it's going to take me right to that option. It's a good idea to take the links for each one and copy them and save them in a safe place. You may need them if you decide to do geolocation with your setup in the last part of our workshop today. Back to our AccessAlly offering, if we click on the brush by any of the order forms that we've added to our offering, we can get to the setup of that order form. So here I am on the USD option for payments for this workshop. I want to make sure the pricing is set for what I would like to charge for this workshop. And then I will scroll down and choose the order form currency. So remember, our currency we set up in the earlier parts of this workshop. So this is going to determine what currency we are using for checkout here. Now it's time to scroll up on this order form and click the Order Form tab. Here we're going to choose to use our custom order form design with this order form. Now we'll go ahead and save our settings. We'll repeat the process on the remaining order forms for this offering. We'll do that one at a time. So we'll go to our AccessAlly offering under the Forms tab and find our next order form. Once we're there, we'll scroll down, make sure your price is set to the amount you'd like to charge, your payment order form currency has been selected, and then you'll go to the Order Form tab and you'll choose the order form design that you would like to use with this order form. And we'll click Save to save our changes. And now we'll just continue to repeat that step with the next 2 order forms. Now it's time for our final section of this workshop, toggle versus geolocation. We're going to cover both options and a few tips for each one. So let's start with the toggle option because this is built inside AccessAlly. If you want to create a toggle to present all of your currencies on one link, this is really nice because the customer will select the currency they wish to check out in. So you're sending them to one link in your site that presents all the different currencies that are available. This option, if you would like to set it up, is done from right inside your AccessAlly site. You just go to your dashboard, you scroll down to AccessAlly, you click on Offerings, you open up the offering that you want to add this to, and then you're going to go to the Forms tab. Once you're on the Forms tab, you click Plus Add and select the toggle option. You can create 2 toggles right here inside the offerings area and then save your settings. And then you can add more toggles to it if you have 4 like me, for example, using the Sales tab. So as you create those toggles, they're going to end up inside the Sales section of your site. You just scroll down to Order Toggle Setup and you will see your toggle. Once you're here, you can select what the toggle says and each option and which one appears in what order. So you can add your secondary currency toggles right in. This option is really nice, like I said, because it's all on one link, all on one page. Your client is selecting their desired currency at checkout. Now for our second option. The second option is using a plugin for geolocation like Geo-Targeting WP. When you're using a geo-targeting plugin, you can select, for example, regions and add new regions to your site. I have chosen to add each payment currency in countries. So you can define what you call the region for the payment. So I'm just naming it after the currency. And then you can select what locations that applies to. So you can set up Canadian currency for Canada and choose Canada as the region that that applies to. And you can do the same with your pounds and also with euros as well. So this way it allows you to quickly add in each grouping, and then what you're going to do is create redirects. So with this option, it's going to work with the 4 order forms that you've designed in AccessAlly. Each order form has its own unique link. And what it'll do is if I set up a redirect to work for Canada, it's going to look for everyone who goes to the default US dollars set up on my site, so that first order form. And when they go to that first order form, if they are in the country region equal to Canada, they are going to change to the order form for Canada. So the same would apply if they go to the order form for the US and they need to pay in euro. All of the regions that I've set up that will be using euro will get redirected to the euro order form. So this way there's 4 different order forms, 4 different links, but you're using redirects to target the location and move the customer to the order form. Now, a quick note about this option, and me, I'm not a legal professional, but I do want to make a mention of it. Because you're using geo-targeting or tracking for that customer or potential customer, you may want to look at GDPR compliance and how it relates to geolocation tracking, and also updating your terms and conditions, which you may need to reach out to a lawyer or someone who can advise you professionally about that, just to make sure that your terms and conditions on your website, and also if you are looking to make sure your site is GDPR compliant, that you're following all the right ways to use this type of plugin. So once again, because this is tracking either by IP address or using HTML5 to track, you want to make sure that you've documented this in your terms and conditions for sure. Thank you so much for watching this workshop. If you would like to learn how to set up an AccessAlly site from start to finish, join us for our free training called AccessAlly 101. You can sign up for this free training by going to accessally.com/f/training.